Girl, let's talk about it. Did you hear them talking about it? Oh my God, do you know this?
Oh my God, Shani Lavalier Nicole. Shani Lavalier Nicole on a roll. Lighting up the stream, the vibe is full. Shani Lavalier Nicole, let's go. Kicking down doors, we make some noise. Grown folks talk with truth and voice. Doing it big, turning up the flow. Shani Lavalier Nicole, you know. Oh yeah, it's Shani Lavalier Nicole. Oh yeah, it's Shani Lavalier Nicole. Everywhere. Shally lava me and Nicole, oh yeah. Grown talk vibes, the moment is here.
Thank you for tuning in.
I'm not ashamed of anything I've done. I would hate to be ashamed of anything. I would hate to look back on my life and say, oh, if I only had it over again, I would be different and I would do this differently.
You're not able to do how to love him. He's doing the best he can with what he got. We did not.
I'm not ashamed that Jesus Christ changed my life. I'm not ashamed that I don't indulge in the same things that I used to indulge in. I'm not ashamed that I no longer glorify sin how I used to glorify sin. Jesus Christ came into my life and he turned everything around. Therefore, I'm not ashamed of the gospel. I'm not ashamed that he died for me, but I'm going to tell everybody. So if you mad, be mad. I will not be ashamed of what he did for me.
Hey, girlfriend.
Hey, what's going on? Hello. Welcome, everybody, to Unfiltered at 5 with Show Live and Leah Nicole. Happy Monday, everybody.
It is Monday. How was your weekend?
I had a great weekend. I had a good weekend. It was pretty busy. Yours?
It was good. Did the audition with you, of course, with the Rooted. That was interestingly fun. I think that's going to be a lot of work. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work.
Absolutely.
So today, we are talking about why I'm not ashamed anymore. Why am I not ashamed anymore? It's a deep topic.
Yes, it is.
Why are we not ashamed? Well, viewers, we're going to talk about why we're not ashamed anymore, about the things that we do and the choices that we make and why. So my first question, Leah, is what were you most ashamed of and why did it affect you so deeply?
I feel like that I was carrying a lot of shame due to my, of course, and I know people always say this, everything. I carried a lot of shame when I was in an abusive relationship. I think like after I left my relationship for so long, I felt like I was just hurting and healing. But what I didn't understand was like deep down, I felt like I had did something wrong. I blamed myself a lot. Like I was kind of ashamed that I stayed for a very long time, and just I was ashamed that I kept it a secret and that I let someone treat me that way. And I think I carried a lot of shame when it comes because of that.
Yeah, I can relate to you on that one. I think that's hard for both of us when we talk about that, because I think people that's never been in a domestic situation don't know what that's like when you're trying to say leave. Your mind and your body's telling you to go, but you almost feel like you're trapped. You know what I'm saying? And even though you want to leave, it's like you can't. It's almost like you stuck. It's almost like you want to fix the person. You know what I mean? Like you want to fix them. Like I know in my situations dealing with that, I always felt like I could fix them and make them better people. You know, that I don't have to walk away like the last person did. I can make this person the way I want to make them, and it'll be all, the fairy tale life. But then it wasn't the fairy tale life at all, and I was ashamed I think I was ashamed too, just pretending in front of everybody, like being around people and pretending that I was so happy when I was so broken. I think that's so how do you now, when did you decide I don't want to be ashamed anymore about this? It is what it is.
Um, over time, I like I said, over time, I realized, when I tried to tell my story out loud, I couldn't,
Mhm.
and I felt embarrassed. And even though I had survived, I never should have gone through that in the first place. And it took me a long time to get here and to realize that it it wasn't all my fault. It was
Right.
it was never my fault, but it took me a long time to get there and a long time to realize that,
Mhm.
and it
Yeah.
was hard, but I ultimately I made it through.
Mhm.
I I prayed about it,
Yeah.
and I was able to get through it. And I think that's when I realized, like I said, it's been a journey. I'm still working on even a little bit on the healing process a little bit, but day by day.
Yeah. I think that's always a it's that I think that particular situation is easier said than done.
Hmm.
It's a daily thing that you forgive and forgive and forgive yourself repeatedly for. And you just tell yourself the next relationship won't be like this one. I won't put myself in the situation to go do it again. If I see the signs, then I can't make excuses for the behavior, nor will I feel ashamed by what I've put myself in. I think that's the growing of it all. Like just being able to do something different and not be in the same circumstance or the same situation, basically,
Right.
I think.
Right. I did you keep it a secret?
I did. I would cover it up. Like I covered it up so much, honey. I became the master of covering it up. I don't think for a long time people knew what I was dealing with. And a lot of times, especially when I was dating Domino, Domino had a big name. He owned a big nightclub. He was one of the biggest people around in Atlanta. And I think people, friends would always say, well, girl, you got everything. You could deal with it. I heard a lot of that. It didn't matter if I had a black eye or if I was covering one. It was, girl, get yourself together. It was never a thing of a comfort of you need to really get away, like you need to go. Um, my mom came a lot of times, and she knew, and she came a lot of times to get me out, and I wouldn't leave, and she cried a lot because I wouldn't leave. I just felt like I put myself in a situation and I had to deal with the situation. That's what it was. But now I'm just at a, like I said, now for me, when I see the behavior, I just try to leave the situation. I don't try to figure out the rest. Like before, I might have stuck around trying to figure it out. Like, oh yeah, let me figure this out. Let me see what I'm gonna if he gonna push me again, if he gonna shove me again. I don't try to figure it out no more. I don't be trying to figure out if you gonna hit me twice. I want to just get away from you before you even want to do it at all. The tone. I think there's a way somebody can talk to you without you. People could make you. It's like a child. You can make a child have fear of you just by yelling. Right? You can say, "Sit your butt down." And the
Right.
child know to sit down.
Right.
But if you beat the child ridiculously, eventually the child is not going to even move. It's going to be like him saying it's stuck. What else can it do? You see what I'm saying? That's kind of how I look at it. I think these behaviors are learned. But it's not even just being ashamed in those situations. There's things that I think I don't have like ashamed to the point where things in my life that I've done that I think that I've learned through, being on Percocets was a big thing in my life. I used to pop pills a lot until I was hospitalized for it. Coping and dealing. It was a coping mechanism for me, and for that, for years, after I went to a hospital, checked in, almost completely lost my whole mind, going through that whole thing and detoxing myself, you know, looking at myself first and saying, this ain't what it is. You know what I'm saying? I was ashamed a lot about that, just and I covered it so well. That was the thing. I was like a functioning, I would say junkie, because that's what it was, a functioning junkie. I knew how to pop the pills, go to work, smile. At the time I was working for Piedmont Hospital, and I was a complete functioning junkie. Like, not off like drugs, but literally off of Percocet, Xanax, any kind of pill that I could buy off the people off the street, honey. I was taking them and I was happy, because it was the way of dealing with everything that I felt like was going on with me in my life. It was like, but now when I look back on it now, I ask myself, am I ashamed of it? No, because that's my testimony. You know what I'm saying? It's my story. It's a part of who I am. It's a part of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, had I not have went through that, maybe I wouldn't be where I am now. You see what I'm saying? Because I was so far gone, it could have been worse. You know what I'm saying? It could have been worse. It could have been a worse outcome, but it wasn't. So after getting through it, I think I was ashamed at the things I did. Hearing my kids say, Ma, you was really gone. Like, you would do stuff, you would, lock yourself in the bathroom, you would like be thinking people was talking to you in the closet. And because I was losing it, like I was really, really losing it. And then my husband at the time, he came home one day and saw me sitting in the bed with my glasses down. So he said something told him to look back. He said he was getting ready to leave. He said he came in the room and I was just sitting there. And I was like, I was just sitting there. What was I doing? He was like, you was just sitting there. And I asked you, are you okay? And he said, I nodded. He said, I was like, mm-hmm. And he said, when he got in the car, something told him to go back. Had he not have went back, I would have died that day because I had crashed. My sugar had crashed. All the chemicals in my body had crashed. The pills that I had taken had crashed. They rushed me to the hospital on a 911 ambulance stretch. I was in there for a long time, but had he not have turned around, and I remember saying to the doctor, don't let me out until I'm fixed. And they was like, well, we have to wean you off of all these pills that you were taking. We have to wean you off of them. And I said, no, let me go through it. Let me feel the pain. Let me feel what I have to feel, because this is the only way I'm going to stop. They couldn't gradually do it. I couldn't gradually just be weaned off. That it took forever. I was like, let me crash. So when I crashed, it was like feeling all the pains I never felt, feeling pains in my body that I did not experience, almost like talking to myself in my head, hearing all kinds of voices and sounds and all kinds of shit talking to me, telling me what I wasn't, what I was not, what I wasn't going to be, how I was going to fall, how I was going to fail. That's kind of how it was, and my husband at the time, he was like, they kept wanting to admit me into the mental institution. And he was like, no, y'all not going to admit her. Let her go through it. Let her go through it. So that was a thing. And I remember my brother telling me, he said that I was talking like Mickey Mouse, that I was up on a high, I was on a low, I was angry, I was screaming at nurses, behaviors that I wouldn't typically do in a day. I was doing all those things. And I remember when I came out of that, when I actually came out of that, and I was embarrassed for so long for all the people that I had hurt during that time, the way that I had talked to people, the way that I had dismissed people. Just my whole demeanor was ugly. The whole thing about me was ugly. Even to my kids, it was ugly. But releasing that from me and just saying, I forgive myself for it, because I had to, because if I had held on to it, I probably would have jumped off of a building, because in my mind, I had messed up so bad that it was like, how do I go back and fix this? And I've hurt so many people. You know what I mean? So that was just a part of a journey, a part of a something in my life that I think makes me who I am, because I can talk about it now. Back then, I didn't want to talk about it at all. It was like, I don't want to talk about that. Talk about something different. If you know the story, you know the story. If you don't talk to me. That's how it was, because that was the way to run from it. Now, when people bring it up, it's just like, okay. Oh, well, I did it. It's done. Now what? Now what we talking about? You see what I'm saying? Because sometimes people don't let you forget your pain. And I ain't not dwelling it. I'm not trying to hold on to that.
So you think you said a word right there when I say people don't let you forget your pain.
No, they don't.
Do not, and they always want to I got some people in my life who will never make me forget how they helped me, and after that time, how I pulled them, how I got them through, how I got them in so much shit and everything, and stuff like that. People don't like to
To
let you
see you grow. People
see
look
you
at you.
grow. They don't.
Yeah, it's not a
I mean, it's our story. It's a part of what makes us who we are and everything. And it was something we went through. We got
mhm.
through it. God got us out of it, and here we are today to tell our story and minister, and to help other people to
To
hopefully
get
help
through
them
it.
to get through it and not have to go through that at all.
Because a lot of people think like, I remember, and it's funny, I can laugh about it now, but I remember when I was in the hospital, right? I'm laying in the bed. They got me strapped to the bed. They
Mhm.
had me strapped to the bed because they thought I was going to harm myself. So they had me strapped to the bed, and this guy comes in and he kept going under my bed. And every time he would go under the bed, he'd be like, "I'm the devil. I'm here to talk to you." And he would lay under the bed and just talk to me. And I couldn't move because he was under the bed. So the nurse would come in and she'd be like, "Well, he's always hiding under the bed." And I'm like, "Okay, well, get him out of my, and I'm angry because first of all, I'm strapped to a bed. You got me locked on a bed. I'm ready to get up out of here. I don't think I'm crazy, and I don't think there's anything wrong with me." So in my mind, I'm just detoxing. But these people are looking at me like, "No, bitch, you crazy." You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how they looking at you, crazy too. So I'm like, "Okay, I'm in here, but I ain't crazy though."
Right.
And you couldn't tell me I was crazy, baby. I was like, I'm not crazy. These people in here is real crazy. But it made me, sitting back and looking, it made me really realize, like, when you in there, oh baby, you just as crazy as everybody in there. You just as a box of beans as they are. But the dude would come in there every day and be under my bed. So one day I just decided I was just gonna start screaming. So I just started screaming, like stupid screaming, like, and the nurses came, they come running in. They're like, "What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "He's under my bed, and y'all keep making this crazy man be under my bed, and he keep telling me he the devil." Girl, but I tell you, I can sit back now and I can really laugh. I be like, boy, I could just imagine how them doctors was probably like, number 23, because I was a number. When you in the nut house, you a number. You ain't got no name. They call you number
Yeah.
23, number 27. They
Mm-hmm.
was just like, okay, number 23 is losing it. And I was just in there screaming. But I just, when I think about it now, I just be like, God, you got to have a plan for me, because I used to remember just saying, "Take me out of here. Let me go. I don't want to be here no more. I'm tired." I remember just saying that over and over and over again to the doctors, like being mad, and the doctors were like, "She's so mad." And they would come in and be like, "What you so mad about? Why are you so mad? What are you so angry about?" And they asked me that every day. Like every day when the counselor came in the room, she'd be like, "Why are you so angry? What are you so mad about?" And I would get more mad.
Right.
The whole thing was for me to process why I was so angry, like what had me so angry. And when it all came down to it, I was mad because I had an abortion. I was mad because I felt like people abandoned me. I was mad because of the situation of being beaten. I was mad. I was so angry. It was just like I was so filled with so much anger that I just didn't know what to do with it. And it
Right.
was just sucked in me. And then I'm out here trying to be happy to the world. And I was tired of being happy to the world. I wanted to be like, "Hey, I'm falling apart. Can you see this? Do you not see it? I'm falling apart too." So that when I released that, I released the shame. It was like, and then I just started telling my story. I started talking about it on social media. Hell yeah, y'all, I always used to pop them perks, baby. I still got all my teeth though. I ain't lose my teeth. I probably was at the verge of losing them, y'all.
Right.
But it was a process. It's
Mhm.
definitely a process. And God, that's why I say I believe that God Himself has a plan for me, because He could have just let me go. He could have
Right.
said, "Girl, you didn't cause me too much headache. Let you just ride this one out because you're a little too heavy." But I'm still here, and I'm still able to tell the story, and I'm still able to laugh about the story
Right.
and not feel no type of way. Like, I don't feel no type of way telling this story to everybody on social media. They probably like, "This bitch," but I don't feel no type of way talking about this stuff no more, because I feel like that's a part of my life, and it's a part of what made me who I am. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't have that story, I wouldn't be telling it now. To the person that may be out here popping pills, you know what I'm saying? That might
Mhm.
be going through this for real, for real.
Right.
Yeah, it's just a part of healing, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Part of healing. It's like apologizing to the little girl sitting next to me, that's me, and say, "Look, I'm sorry that I had to drag you through that. I'm sorry that I made you struggle with me through the
Right.
pain." And I think that's the bigger
Mhm.
picture for
Yes,
me.
it is.
for me. What do you feel like during the time when you was healing? What do you think your biggest hurdle was in your healing process? Like what was the biggest thing you had to get over? Like, whoo,
that I had to get over.
yeah, like to get over the biggest hurdle in that situation that when you got over it, you was like, damn, I just made it through that. I just got past that hurdle.
That I'm allowed to move on with my life and everything, and I don't have to keep on. Like I know there's a lot going on and everything, and I'm not perfect at all, but I now I know and that I struggle with, I'm allowed to move on with my life. I've made everything right. I've done everything I could do and everything I'm allowed to. I don't have to keep on reliving it. And I know I put some people through some things with what I was going through, and I apologize and made my amends for that. Now I have to keep on moving my life. I can't keep on apologizing every day for something that happened years ago.
Right.
I can't keep on, and I shouldn't have to. I've made all the amends that I do that
That
I
you
that
can
situation
you
that I feel with
possibly
this. Yes, with that situation. So I mean, I think that's what I struggle with kind of the most and everything. Some people still get mad at me. Oh, I did was there for you in this,
But you
But
ever find that so mean? Like when a person tells you, like you go through a struggle in your life, and
mhm,
your friends and your family's there for you, but they never let you forget it.
right,
When do you stop having to forgive for the stuff you did? When are you able to say, okay, I put you through that. I
right,
did it. I was an
right,
ugly person during that time, but I wasn't in my right mind, and
right,
I had a lot going on, and I wasn't certain, I'm accountable. I'm taking accountability for my actions, but at the time, I was dealing with my own demons.
right,
So now that I've gotten over it, why do you have to keep reminding me of all the bad that I've done? Can we move forward now?
right.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't understand why people want to throw things back up at you, and because when you're mad and you're upset and you're in the heat of the moment and everything, because they helped you out of the situation in time when you really needed them. I don't understand why people do things like that.
Yeah, but it's a thing. Like Simone said, you know what I've learned over the years.
Hmm.
No one will know what you're going through but you. How
Right.
you choose to cope with demons to make you move on is yours to do. I
Hmm.
don't care how you view me, you will never break me. And that's true, and I think that's one of the bigger things. I think people always want to make you feel bad
Right.
about your life. My
Right.
life is what makes me
Ooh,
who I am. You know what I'm
said a
saying?
word right there. Want to always make people want to make you feel bad about
Like,
your
about your
life.
life.
Yeah.
Like, if it, I remember, when I was young and I cut my arm, right? I slipped my wrist 8 times because of a situation that I was in. And I felt like I wanted to take myself out of here, right? So my brother was the one that found me in the tub that they called. And I was in the tub and I had my wrists cut up and I was in the hospital for a long time for that. And just being in there
Mhm.
and I remember my dad wrote me a letter and he said, whether you're here today or gone tomorrow, the sun's still gonna come up. And that stuck with me for years of my life. And for a long time, I wouldn't show my arm, right? I
Right.
wore long sleeve shirts, I covered up the cuts, I made sure nobody saw them. And anytime you saw me, it would be hot outside and I'd have on a long sleeve shirt. I wore long sleeves forever because I was ashamed of it. It was a it was a thing that I couldn't show anybody because I didn't want nobody to ask me what happened. I didn't want nobody to say, "Oh, girl, what happened?" Because it was red. I'm light skinned. These cuts on my arm, they bright as they wanted to be, you know. And I just remember going through that, just hiding it and hiding it. I'm talking about years. I'm talking about years. Last year, last year was when I said, I free myself of this. And I went and got a tattoo over the stitches, the cuts. For years, I didn't cover it. And after a while, I didn't care if anybody looked at it. And every time I would get hired in a job, especially when I became in leadership, and I'd be up there pointing at the board, and somebody would catch it, and they'd be like this. And I always knew when somebody saw it because, I'm light skinned. So when I'm pointing, you're going to see it automatically. But the tattoo covers it now. And it's not that I covered it because I cared. I didn't really care, but I
Right.
got tired of explaining.
Right.
And now when I talk about it, I'm like, yeah, it is. You can't see it now because it's covered by a tattoo. But at the end of the day, it's like, I don't give a shit. Okay. I was 16 years old, no, 15 years old at the time, 15 going on 16, some shit like that. And I thought I had life and I thought life was life for me. And I said I wanted to check out. That's just what it was. I felt like I was losing my mind. You know, I was out here running these streets all over the place, being grown, you know, out here trying to do me and do life. And I just said one day, I said, fuck it, I don't want to be bothered no more.
Right.
You know, but when I did it, I was ashamed, but it took me till I was 52 years old to say, okay, the fuck, I done it.
Right.
I cut myself. Okay. It is what it is. And whoever's gonna love me gonna have to see them cuts, baby, because they there. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, the tattoo cover it, but they still there. You know what I'm saying? But
it's part of who you are, and it's
part of my journey.
It's part of your journey and everything. So there's no need in hiding it and everything. If you can't, you know, love me with my flaws
But
and
the
all,
flaws, you know what I'm saying?
and then you are not the person for me. Yes. But yeah, I do understand that completely. And I understand the suicidal thoughts and everything I had in myself. At times I felt like I didn't deserve to be here no more and everything. It's just, it all gets too much and everything. And sometimes we still struggle with that today. But like I said, I'm better, and we're on this healing journey, and we're getting there and everything. Like I said, some days are harder than others, but you know.
Some days I just be wanting to throw up my hands and say, you know what? You know, but I have these long talks with God. I do. You know, I like I said, I'm on this journey in my life and I'm trying to be a better me, a better version of me. Right. And I talk to him a lot. Like when I'm in my downtime, I'm like, hey, you know, what's going on? Like, what we doing? Like, what are we doing? What am I supposed to get out of this? You know, we had this conversation. So because I'm having this conversation constantly, it keeps me grounded. You know, I get out here, I jump around in the grass, I act a donkey, you know, I'm trying to keep my mind constantly busy so I don't have time to think about all the negative things in the world that's going on around me, the things that ain't working right, the things that don't work in my favor, you know, the demons that come at me constantly during the day. And I'm like, you know, like I go to work sometime and I be wanting to put the whole computer in the wall. I'd be like, you know what, this ain't the day. But then I'd be like, you know what, I got a job. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I make good money. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm decent. I live a pretty decent life.
Yeah, we are blessed, and because we are blessed to have what we have, the things. It's a lot of people out here that don't have it and are doing worse and everything. So yeah, we're blessed and everything. So I get that.
And I've learned how to take things just that way. I learned how to take it just the way it is. The way it happens, I just look back now and I say, oh God, you must know what you're doing. Right. You know what you're doing, because I don't understand this one. Like I say that a lot, you know, I'd be like, well, God, you got it. You didn't have to figure this out because I don't know what you want me to do with this one. So I'm just gonna say, okay. I'm just gonna say, okay with you, you know. So that's the different behavior, I think, now that I've learned how to just accept the way that I am, and that I ain't for everybody, and everybody ain't gonna like me, and everybody ain't gonna love me. And
I know that's right. I'm okay with that. Yeah, and I'm learning how to be okay with. I'm definitely learning how to be okay with that, especially now this year. You know, when you lose a lot of people in your life who you thought was going to be on the journey with you to the end and everything, and then you have to really learn that some people are going to be in your life for a season. Not gonna be in your life forever, and everything is sad and it's unfortunate, but that's the truth and everything. Somebody, I was talking on the phone with somebody yesterday, and somebody just said, "Baby," they just said they were talking to me because I was losing. I had a bit of a weekend, you know, with a lot of things that happened. I mean, I had fun this weekend, but then I had some.
I saw your little badass out the other night up there at the fashion show that I didn't come to. I said, wait a minute.
Oh, wait,
that's my people.
No. It wasn't a fashion show. It was a birthday. It was somebody's birthday party.
It was y'all like y'all was having a good old time. I ain't get that invite. I'm feeling some type of way. I was in my feelings. I ain't gonna lie.
It wasn't my party, Shelly Live. It wasn't my party.
That's how
it wasn't my party, Shelly.
I saw Remy. I saw Tamika.
It wasn't my party. That's what I like to tell
Remy was giving it, honey. She got down and walked that runway and I said, "Go, girl!" I love watching her. I think she's so cute.
She did. She was really cute. She was really beautiful on her birthday. But there was, you know, back to the seriousness of this conversation. I
get it.
I had some sad things. Somebody told me, they said, "Just say, God, have your way." They said, they said, "God, have your way."
Look,
That's it.
Tamika, I mentioned it in the group.
You got caught. I mentioned it in the
I ain't said Tamika.
You didn't catch that when she said that?
No, and I had took that flu shot and I was feeling, if I had a fever so high, I thought my head was gonna fly off. I went and took the flu and COVID shot back to back, and it always hits me hard. So I probably just missed it. But I saw y'all out there I just saw y'all out here partying. And I was like, wait a minute. I ain't here. Look,
I'm sorry.
Hey, yeah, y'all look like y'all had fun though, because I did watch the videos that you posted.
It was a good time.
Remy was giving, honey. She was out there dropping it like it's hot. She was walking that runway. I said, girl, stretch yourself. That's what I'm talking about. I love it though. Y'all look like y'all had a great time. Y'all do. Y'all look like y'all did. But back to the topic, this topic. I had to come off for a minute and talk about that.
Right. But it was I had some things going on this weekend, some other things that was going on this weekend, and it was
I will. He put it in the group. I will, but I didn't see it, Remy. It was my fault. I ain't see it.
I think she had mentioned it one day, like during a rehearsal. Mm-hmm. I think you was there, but you wasn't there. Did you come on late or something?
I was walking around trying to get my mom situated.
Yeah. It wasn't that. She mentioned it way before that rehearsal. I remember that.
I probably just didn't. But I know I was sick Saturday and Sunday from that damn flu shot.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. Well then maybe that's why it was.
Took me out of here. I was like, "Oh, this ain't for me, baby. This ain't for the weak and the weary."
Shelly, I don't even know what I was talking about. No damn.
You said you had a rough weekend. I remember, baby. You said you was having a hard weekend. You had things going on, and somebody called you. And said
it was. She said, just say after the week I had, she just said, baby, just say, let God have your way. And I said, okay, I like that. I said, I wake up every morning and say, God have your way. It is what it is.
Because sometimes you can't win. You see what I'm saying? Like we spend so much time trying to fight. Yes. The way, the movement, like I try to understand what I've learned how to do now in my life is not try to figure out the whys.
Right.
I don't try to figure out why no more, like why this happened and why. I just say, you know what, this had to happen.
This had to happen.
Supposed to go. If I walk in my job tomorrow and don't have it, I'm gonna say, well, Lord, you knew it. I guess this ain't the assignment no more. You know, because the things that I keep fighting for, that people keep trying to take away from me, it's like, okay, you know, if it's that serious, go and take it. But it's only going to be on God's time. And even when I walk into jobs and I get stuff, I be like, I don't even think the people that be interviewing me be giving me the job. I think God be saying, this is your job. You know, I just go in there like, this is my job. I'm finna have this job. It's finna be mine. You know, and that's how I look at, that's the way that I look at life now. I don't try to figure out the whys anymore. I just be like, it is what it is. And I breathe, because I'll be sitting somewhere cuckoo if I let life, girl, I'll be somewhere running up a tree. I ain't lying. I don't let myself run up the tree no more. I'll be like, oh, that's great for me.
Right.
No.
Yeah. It is what it is at this point. Is we giving it to God, and that's that. But Simone said, people are in your life for a reason or a season, a blessing or a lesson. I know that's right. I heard the other day that people aren't supposed to be in your life forever. You change over the years, so you outgrow your circle, and you will meet new people who will fit where you are in life now.
That's that. She couldn't have said that no better.
She couldn't have said that no better.
She couldn't have said it no better. I mean, I think you do. I think everybody can't go where you're going all the time. And if they're with you for the rest of your life, they were meant to be with you the rest of your life. But there are going to be some people, when you get where you're going, they're going to be right with you.
Right.
They're going to be standing there, and they're going to be smiling and clapping you on and loving you and being like, that's her. You know, you're going to have that. Then you're going to have those that's not going to be there. And it might hurt a whole lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it does. And I think that's what I be struggling. I think that's what I'm struggling with now, dealing with the hurt of people coming in and out of my life and everything. It does hurt a lot, especially when it's somebody who you wouldn't think would even leave out your life.
Well, TD Jake said it. He couldn't have said it better. He said, when somebody leaves your life, let them go. Right. You know, I used to hold on to every relationship. You know, it was always, I used to be always the one to make everybody happy, please everybody, be the pleaser. You know, like it was making my life confusing.
That's me too. Always got to please
make everybody happy.
Make everybody happy.
I can't make everybody happy. That's what I've learned. I cannot. It's
Right.
draining. It's very
Yes, it
draining. So
is.
now what I focus on is my healing, my self-worth, the things I believe in, the things that I think is going to make me happy and smile. I go out here and I jump in the grass, and a lot of people may say it's crazy, but guess what? I love it. It makes my
You
feet
love it. You
I
make
feel
you
like I'm
happy.
grounded. I feel like I'm bonding, with whatever I'm doing. I feel like I'm having a good time doing it, and I'm happy while I'm doing it. And that little moment of joy, and the people that I've touched when I do it, so many people hit me up and be like, girl, just watching you run makes me laugh, or watching you run makes my day. Just seeing you jump around, and nobody's coming at me crazy saying, oh, I want to have sex with you jumping in the grass. They saying, girl, you make me smile. Like, I just see you kicking your feet up and jumping around, and it's just the 2 seconds that I watch you, I'm happy. If I've done that, then I've done my job. I've done my part. You see what I'm saying? Learn something, learn something from it. Like, go jump in your grass. You know what I'm saying? It's just people will always find the wrong in you and make you feel ashamed of everything in your life. I don't want nobody around me that keep reminding me of my pain. I don't want to hear about, oh, I was with Domino and he beat me up. Oh, you cut your arm and you was 16. Oh, oh, your life. Oh, you took some pain. I don't want to hear that every day because
Right.
I've
Exactly. You want to we trying to move on from that. And you don't need the constant reminder of what I went through and it's in the third and how you helped me out and throwing it up in somebody's face and stuff, shit like that,
Because people, if somebody do something for you from your heart, from their heart, they ain't never gonna tell you about it.
Never gonna tell you about it.
I can count on one hand how many people do stuff for me, baby, and I mean one, and probably 2 fingers if I think about it.
I know that's same. Oh, girl, same.
You ain't breaking their neck to help me out.
Showed on and everything. That's what I said. That's what I say that's why I said. You see who your friends are. You see who your true friends are.
Go through something.
Really, when you going through something,
all you do is go
see who you are, right, and see who's there for you. Because you can be there. You be there for people all day long. You call me when you need some. Call me when you need some advice from me. I'm there for you. But then when I'm gone and I'm out and I need some help, you can't. You ain't nowhere to be found.
And I know people should be able to see when you're going through something if they're close to you.
Right.
You shouldn't have to point out. I shouldn't have to point out my pain if you in my circle.
Right.
You're supposed to be able to look at me as your person, your friend, or whoever's next to you, and you should be able to say, she moving a little differently. Something might not be right.
Right. And you're supposed to check on your close friends.
Call me and see how I'm doing sometimes.
I shouldn't always have to be the one to call. You ain't lying about that.
You ain't lying about that.
I shouldn't have to be the one to always call you all the time and make sure you doing how you doing and stuff like that. Because I go through shit too, and sometimes it don't hurt for you to text me and to be the one first to text. I know I'm always the first one. How you doing? This and the third.
How your day going?
Right.
But sometimes, sometimes you want somebody to say, you good? You all right, girl? You seem a little off. You seem like something ain't right. I can remember just a couple of months ago going through something, going through what I was going through, and the very many people that did not call, and I'm sitting there and I'm really going through it. Now, whether it was self-inflicted, not inflicted, however it went down, but nobody, I can tell you, I can count on my hand who came through. And just, hey, girl, it's going to be all right. Hey, I got you. Hey, I can remember last year when I didn't even know how I was going to eat.
Oh.
And I was doing under the rug. And I ain't going to lie. I'm telling the truth. I was doing under the rug play and going home and starving at night. And I bet you nobody knew that. I bet you nobody know that I ain't had no food in my refrigerator. I bet you didn't know nobody knew I was going through it. I was going through it, baby. I didn't know where I was going to live. But people don't know that because why?
They don't pick up the phone. They don't check
now, y'all. And I be like, hey,
right.
how you doing? It's like, God is fantastic. But you would think that the people that are in your circle would say, wait a minute, something might be a little different today. She seemed, but nobody does that.
Nobody does that. And when I say don't nobody do that for me at all. Don't nobody do that for me at all.
You know who I can shout out though? I can shout out Miss Hilda, because Miss Hilda was the one that called and said, you got food? I'm going to make you some food and I'm going to bring it over there. And she would make food and she would bring it over. And that's how I ate.
That's how you ate.
And I would go to work. A lot of times hungry. I would go to work and I was making my check but I had to pay a household because my household had crumbled.
Right.
And I think a lot of people wanted me to crumble. And that's sad to say out loud.
It
So
is
when I sit down and think about not being ashamed, every time I think about being ashamed, I'd be like, nah, because I know what this looks like already. And I know I got reason to smile. And I know I got a whole lot of reason to rejoice. And I know I got a whole lot of reason to say, God, thank you for pulling me out of that situation and putting me into a better one. You see what I'm saying? So I know what it feels like to be down there. I do. And I know how sad it is when you get there.
I think I think one good friend of mine, Micaiah, that will do the same thing, down and out and everything. But I know she gonna check on me when I'm having a bad day. She gonna call me, make sure I got something. If I go over her house, she gonna feed me good, gonna cook for me good.
That's what you
that one good friend and everything. But I don't know. I can't say that for many people in my life.
You can't. You got to look, I remember a lot of times you came through, told me some shit, what we doing?
I said, that's what I said.
Today?
What we going to do?
Get up. You not going to be sad today. Look, you get up.
And I ain't going to lie. While going through my own
her own stuff
as well. But I seen somebody that was going through a tough situation like I was going through. I said, we got to get through it together and everything.
And she would not leave me. I promise y'all, this little girl would not leave me. She was like, I'm going to be right here with you. We finna fight this together. What we doing? How we doing it? We finna pray. What we doing? But sometimes you need that. And, and Miss Dean, my Paula Dean, always there for me. Kiss my, always there for me, and not doing stuff with condition. Like, don't help me with condition, because then I got to be thinking about how to pay you back. And I might not have it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might not have it to give back. Sometimes you just got to do it because you can, you know what I'm saying? I might not know where it's coming from, and at the end of the day, but I know what it feels like, but my pain, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'm okay eating an orange in a day, and some dry lunch meat with no bread, you know what I'm saying? And a can of baked beans. I know how to put it together.
I know, that's what I said.
So you have a hot dog, some hot dogs and a can of beans. You got a dinner. You got a meal.
That's what I said. I said,
you knew how to eat. You knew how to eat.
I would have to do the struggle meal even sometime in the year.
Okay.
I don't, because I'm another one. I don't talk about things I'm going through. If I'm hungry, you ain't never gonna know. I'm not gonna never. I don't have my hand. I've always been telling you, I've been the type, I'm gonna go get it myself. I'm gonna go do it myself.
Right.
You'll never know I'm struggling because I'm not gonna tell nobody about it. But yeah, I'm gonna go get it, and I'm gonna go get it. And I'm gonna make it do what it do,
and make it work.
The struggle meal. But Unc said, I got a so-called friend that I think knows when I'm going through. She starts complaining about how people think she's a bank. I took it as a hint.
Oh, her trying to tell you, like,
right?
You think you about to tell her your story and that you need some help, and now you feel, that's what I'm saying. You know who rocking with you. Like,
rocking with you
in the Delta, baby. You know who with you. You know who ain't with you now. It'd be some times when you sitting down by yourself and you sitting on the bed crying, trying to figure it out. And I have cried many tears. You see what I'm saying? I have cried sitting on the bed crying, like, boy, Lord, what are we doing? And what's going on here in my life? But then, I find joy in everything. Like, it'll be a bad day and I'll be trying to find the humor in it some type of way. I'd be like, whoo, Lord, this one was heavy, and then I think about I always go back and think about where I came from and where I am now. And I might not have it all together now, but I'm working on it. You see what I'm saying? I'm work in progress, but at least I'm able to look at myself and say reflection and say, you got to see yourself in your own light. And you got to love all of the things that come with you and not be ashamed of anything that you've done or anything that you did, even if it might have hurt some people. As long as you forgive yourself and say, you know what, I hope and pray they forgive me for the things I may or may not have done. That's all you can't do. But anybody that's sitting there trying to make you remember all the wrong you did in your life, they probably don't need to be around you because you're never going to get past that.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to constantly be reminding you. That might have been crazy.
Sometimes you gotta love people from a distance. I'm learning that now. I gotta love you from a distance because you can't be in my life causing all this negativity and this drama and stuff in my life and everything, stuff like that. So I gotta put you.
You trying to walk in, in prayer and stay prayed up, and you got somebody constantly pulling you down,
pulling me down and everything, and I can't do it and everything. Life is hard damn hard, and everything is too hard as it is now. So I can't have that.
Trying to win and trying to make it and trying to be
and trying to be great and trying to change, and here you are coming with your negativity. And then Unc said, I have those days right now stay negative in that account, but I know I'm connecting with wealth. Crying or worrying is investing energy in things I don't desire. I know that's right.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say to you like what's some positive affirmations you say to yourself?
I have it stuck all over my house. I have them in my bathroom, on the
Yeah.
wall. I am beautiful. I am blessed. I am
Blessed.
whole. I am confident. I am going to achieve today. I am smiling. I am wonderful. And I say that to myself every day. And I don't care if y'all want to call me cocky or arrogant. I say that all the time. I be like, you hear me say it when I come on live, when I jump on, I be like, I'm blessed. I'm beautiful. I'm amazing. I'm wonderful. I'm fantastic. I am everything. Honey, look at this beauty. I give myself my bows, because if the whole world doesn't, they don't have to. I ain't for everybody. Everybody might not think I'm good looking. Everybody might not. But guess what? To me, I'm the most beautiful girl in the world. You know, my anthem could be poor little Tamar Braxton song, because that's how I believe. You know, I believe this. And as long as I believe it, that's all that matters. I don't care who don't like the hair color that I put on today. I don't care who don't like me jumping in the grass. I don't care. You see what I'm saying? I've gotten to a place in my life where I don't care what people think no more, because if I sit here and keep thinking about what people think about me, I'll be forever broken and be ashamed. I'll be ashamed every day, every time I walk out the door.
I know that's right.
I refuse to live in a bubble. No. I'm on a journey that's different, and the journey that I'm on is self-healing, and the healing that I'm trying to heal from all things, baby.
Exactly. I know that's right. Amen. Amen to all of that.
Yeah, I'm not doing any of that stuff. It is what it is.
Yeah. Like I've been putting on my stuff. I'm like, God is removing all access to foolishness, and I ain't saying nothing to nobody no more. And it's just your access is revoked. I don't got time to be playing games with nobody, because like you said, I'm on a journey. I'm like, exactly.
You can't have nobody trying to pull you backwards if you're trying to move forward. That don't even work together. It's like playing tug of war. If I'm telling you, girl, it's like you talking to me and you having a conversation. You like, yeah, Michelle, you know, I'm trying to really heal. I'm trying to get past this. And I'm saying to you, but girl, you know, it ain't gonna work out like that. Girl, you know, it ain't gonna work. I mean, you know, I know you trying, but how does that even sound positive
or supportive?
I posted the day that I wanted to play Phyllis Hyman, right? Me and my friend Paula was on the phone talking. I said, girl, you know who I want to play? I want to play Phyllis Hyman in a movie.
Who is Phyllis Hyman? I heard
she was a singer back in the day, honey, a legendary singer before Whitney Houston came out, but she killed herself. She ended up killing herself.
Oh,
she committed suicide. But I look like her a lot. And a lot of times when I go up here, I'm like, girl, you look just like Phyllis Hyman. You know who you look like. And I already know who they gonna say. I'd be like, Phyllis Hyman, I already know. And I always admired her because I've studied her story. And I was like, if I could play a part, if I could be somebody, because, you know, I sing, so it'd be easy. So I'm like, if I could do a part and a role, I would want her. So, you know, I put it into the universe. I hit up Tyler Perry and everybody. Girl, I put it all on the page. I put all the people on Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, George Perry. I put everybody's name on it. This is who I want to be. When y'all looking for a person to play her and y'all decide to do her story, here I am. But you got to talk this stuff into the universe. This is what it is. Now
I pray you get that and everything. If that's what you want, I pray you get that.
And that's what Paula said. Paula was like, girl, you're going to be Phyllis Hyman at some point in your life. And I was like, but you know, that's what you need when you have people that are supporting your vision and see your dream. You want somebody to say, girl, that's a good idea. You know, do it. You know, whether it come to pass, I don't know. I'm going to believe it. I'm going to believe I'm playing her already. I'm going to be on the stage doing it. You know, I wanted to be in a musical. Here I am in Rooted. You know, I wanted to be in a musical when I was 5 years old. Said, here I am singing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, I'm going to be in a musical. So I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? Like, wanted to be on a play. Gave me that opportunity. I didn't know what I was doing under the rug. I was just not under the rug, living for the weekend. I was going, oh, let me be good. Let me be great. Let me not mess up this lady play. You know, my little nerves was bad. I'm around all y'all little professionals. I'm like, oh, I got chest pains. I'm out here about to forget how to read a script. I'm like, oh, Lord, help me, Jesus. Let me get through it. But I thank God that I met y'all, and I thank God that the cast was nice to me. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all didn't have to be. I could have walked in there. Y'all could have been like, this girl knows what she's doing. You see what I'm saying? But look how the world's connected, and it worked. It just worked. You know what I'm saying? And then we're on to the next thing, you know, and on to the next thing. And I think we're going to be doing this for a while. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be on some sets together. We're going to be on some scenes, and we're going to see each other elevate, and we're going to watch each other grow. And I'm going to say, look at my girl up there. Look at my girl doing her thing. You know, because that's how it's really supposed to be. We come from a place of love. And I think that's yes, Tamika, that was my first time, by the way. Yes, that That you didn't know. You didn't know. Like you didn't
I know
know.
when you told me that, when you said it back on another show, I was like, that was your first time doing that?
No, it was my first. I was nervous as hell, but I was like, just let me mess up. I was trying to fake the flavor. You know, say fake it till you make it. I was faking it till I make it. I said, they're gonna think I'm an expert. They're gonna know they're gonna think I'm an expert.
Simone said, that's where I am. Everyone is cut off. The people who has my back will always have me. I found out people only wanted to be around because I was giving them my all. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That's
sad.
how I be sometimes.
When you cry that tear out, when you sit down and you cry those tears out, and you realize that you're not as important as people as you
Oh,
think that you should
as
be,
you think you
learn
are.
a whole lot. Yeah, you cry, and it's a sad place to be.
Yes.
Thank you, Tamika. I appreciate it. Now I'm on to Under the Rug, and I'm on to Rooted, girl, and I'm on my way. That means I'm on my way. Stop. You know, and people probably gonna laugh at me on those. You know, they're gonna be like, "Oh, she's doing a terrible job." But I don't care. I don't really care what people think anymore. I have to learn how to be so thick-skinned to the point where I can't allow people to break me, because
you said a word right there, because I'm getting there. I'm definitely. It took me a long time to get here, and not to learn
it's
what people
work.
think about.
It's
I used to get so upset. So I used to get especially back in school. You know, people were so mean. It took me a long time to get here about not care what people think, not care
what people think about you,
me, and everything and stuff like that. It took me a long time to learn that. Everything.
But when you get there, it's like a freedom. You feel like you done stripped off all your clothes, and you be like, "Oh Lord, I can control this now. I'm not feeling like I'm tied down, and I'm not feeling like I'm crying every night and trying to figure out why and what's going on." I mean, I used to punish myself for when I was in a domestic violence situation. I used to think I did everything wrong, and I was the worst girlfriend in the world. Like, oh my God, if I could have did it better, if I would have not did this. It was always if I wouldn't have done something. It was never this man's just crazy. You know, it was always, what did I do? What did I do? How did I start it? What did I not do right? You know, and now I've learned it don't make a difference what I do. People gonna find fault in me no matter what I do. So have at it. You know, at the end of the day, I gotta pay these bills. I gotta get up in the morning. I gotta look at myself and love who I am. So I'm not gonna be ashamed about the bumps and bruises in my life. I've bumped, I've bruised. I got a whole lot of mine. I probably got a whole lot more to go. And if I fail and if I fall, guess what? I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna do this shit all over again until I get it right. You know what I'm saying? Because eventually I'm gonna get it right.
Right.
That part.
I love the confidence on you and everything that you're willing to fall down and get back up again and everything. I love that and everything. That's what I'm learning now. Falling down,
getting up,
getting back up, and dust yourself off and clean it up.
And I think I can accept criticism when it's coming from a good place. Like if somebody's saying something to me and it's from a good place, I can say, okay, I get it. Maybe I could do better. You know, it's just like if you reading something wrong, like in Rooted, Miss Kim is hard.
Yes, she is.
But she don't come from a place.
Anger. She just wants you to be great. You can tell she just wants you to be great.
And it's the same with She's the same way. Hey, do this like this. I don't look at her and say, she trying to make me read these lines. No, I look at it like this is her profession. This is what I'm learning. So let me learn. You see what I'm saying?
Well, we always get corrected. We get corrected with a lot of love. We don't get corrected.
It's not something that's malicious. It don't come off malicious.
Yeah, we get corrected with a lot of love.
So I don't say, oh my gosh, she talking to me again. I'd be like, oh, well, let me figure out. And I go in the mirror and I try to become this character. And I'm like, let me figure this out. Because look, you know, I ain't got but so much Negro in me. I'm trying to bring the Negro out. Like they say, I ain't got a lot of it, so I'm trying to find it. I'm like, well, let me dig a little deeper. Maybe it's in there on these bones. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
maybe.
Let me ask you, how has living without shame empowered your personal and professional life?
Empowered my personal and my professional life, living without it?
Yeah. How does it elevate you?
How does it what?
How does it empower you? How do you feel that you've let go of some of these things that tie you down, some of the shame, some of the guilt? How do you feel that you
feel like a weight has been lifted off of me and I've lifted off my shoulders and everything, you know, like I said, one day at a time. With everything, it feels like weight has been lifted off my shoulders now that like I said, I struggle with a long time, like feeling guilty. I put so many people through so many things and everything, stuff like that, especially my personal life. I struggle with that. I struggle with, okay, I always got to, I like always having to owe somebody something and everything. And I feel that, yeah, like I said, I deserve to be happy. I deserve happiness. I deserve to get to move on and live my life just like everybody else and everything. So it feels like a weight has been lifted off of my shoulders and everything. And I feel free, I guess.
Yeah. And that's how you should feel. You should feel like happy, warm and fuzzy in the inside. Like when I go to bed now, I go to bed. Before I used to go to bed with a migraine. Now, yesterday I was feverish. I felt kind of crappy. But now when I go to bed, I pray before I go to bed. I sit down and I just be like, God, you got me through the day. You're going to take me through tomorrow and you're going to carry me through the week.
Right.
And whatever obstacles you see that I got to face, they're going to come, and just prepare me for whatever they are, and we have this conversation, and then I go to bed. I don't think about the day is going to happen and life's going to happen tomorrow and it's going to be this terrible week. I start out the week thinking it's going to be great. It's going to be, and things come.
That's the thing. I always try to start the week off positive. I'll be like, we're going to have an amazing week and everything. I'm not, and stuff like that. I try to start.
I ain't got the answers, honey, but I be trying to figure it out. I'd be like, no, I'm learning how to take one day at a time and not try to think so far ahead, because I can't change the things I can't change. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, God, give me the courage to change the things that I can and the wisdom to know the difference. You know, if I meet my husband on the walk, my husband, he's out there, y'all, he's coming. He ain't got here yet. When he arrives, I'm ready for him. I'm ready to see him. He's coming. I can feel it. He's nearby. So he's somewhere in my skin. He's gonna be a part of this journey. He's gonna be a part of this next chapter. And he's like, I think he's close. I think he's somewhere in the midst. And we're trying
he is too.
We're trying to click, touch, and agree. Trying to click, touch, and agree. But I see it. You know what I'm saying? I think this next chapter is going to be the chapter, and it's going to be the one where I'm standing and I'm going, my husband, my friends and my kids. I think it's going to be an aha moment where I feel like I can breathe. You know what I'm saying? Like when I take this vow that I'm going to take gracefully. But it's just life,
Yes, it is.
Let's see. How do you inspire or support others who are struggling with their own shame? What advice would you give somebody that's struggling with shame?
Good question. I would tell them, somebody struggling with shame, I just would tell them that, give it to God. Pray to God, give it to God, pray about it and everything, and pray, give it to God, move on and everything. Don't carry all that weight on you anymore.
Look in the mirror.
Look in the mirror, yeah.
And talk to yourself. Talk of all the things that you're worth.
Right.
Don't think about when you're facing your own shame and there's things that are blocking you and things that you feel like are weighing you down in life. Go in the mirror and have a conversation with yourself. Right. And literally, you got to be able to peel the layers of pain off of you. That's how you pretty much get through it. You have to peel the layers off, because sometimes pain sticks. It's like somebody kick you in your side. You're going to wake up the next day, you're going to have the bruise. It might take 2 weeks for that bruise to stop hurting, that little kick to stop hurting. When you get to a place where the bruise don't hurt no more, then you're healing, right? So you look at yourself in the mirror and you tell yourself who you are and believe it. And believe it. You can't tell me I ain't a star. You see what I'm saying? Because I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't tell me I'm not a celebrity already, because in my mind, honey, I'm already Cardi B and Janet Jackson. So you can't tell me that I'm not them. That you can't be like, this girl. They probably say this girl is crazy. To me, girl, I'm a celebrity already. You can't tell me I ain't walking in my entry.
Claim that and then claim that. We claiming it now. We're claiming it now.
That's just how I feel. That's what I feel in my mind and my spirit. But it ain't for nobody to take away from me. It's like, that's my, you can't tell me I ain't an actress and I ain't on Broadway and I ain't singing and I ain't on the TV shows. Right. When I turn on the channel, I see me and Zatima taking care of the baby. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look. I be like, oh, look at me up there look at me taking Darvell's hand, walking him through this screen. But that's how I gotta be to keep it real in my mind. You see what I'm saying? When I was a kid dreaming about being in a musical, I didn't think I'd be in a musical today. You see what I'm saying? I used to dream about being on Fatal Attraction. Then I ended up on being on Fatal Attraction. So I'm going to be Phyllis Hyman. I'm going to be her. You watch. Y'all Y'all mark it on your calendar. I said this on 10/13/2025. I'm gonna be for the timing because I feel like I gotta speak my truth into the universe and say, yo, here you go. You know, and I threw my shame up there too. And I said, well, I'm not ashamed about that no more. You can't stifle me with this. You can't put a bag. Or you should say, rip me out the plastic because I'm acting brand new. You damn right I'm acting brand new. I ain't choking no more over the things that I can't change. I'm trying to just change the things that I can that's within my reach. And if I can't, if it ain't in my reach, it ain't for me to change it.
I know that's right.
It ain't got nothing to do with me.
It sure don't.
So,
all right. Well, we almost there at the hour.
We're almost there.
A couple more seconds and everything, but
we working through the process, y'all. We're gonna do this together. Thank y'all for watching us as you always do.
So
thank
much
y'all for coming on the block.
Our day ones that always support us no matter what, always coming on at 5 p.m. giving us the praises, coming in the comments, liking and sharing and commenting and subscribing and everything. We love y'all and we thank y'all for that. But we are at our hour of Unfiltered at 5 with Shelly Live and Leah Nicole. And once again, we thank you so much. We love y'all. Go pray about it. You did it extremely well.
Thank you.
Go love on somebody, hug on somebody, y'all. Go be empowered. Take the weight off your shoulders and everything. Like I said, give it to God. And that is it. Unfiltered at 5 with Shelly Live and Leah Nicole. We out. Bye.
And we're out. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place.
Bye.
Girls, let's talk about it. Did you hear them talking about it? Oh my God, do you know this?
Oh my God, it's Shelly Live and Leah Nicole. Shelly Live and Leah Nicole on a roll. Lighting up the stream, the vibe is bold. Shelly Live and Leah Nicole, let's go. Kicking down doors, we make some noise. Grown folks talk with truth and poise. Doing it big, turning up the flow. Shelly Live and Leah Nicole, you know. Oh yeah, it's Shelly Live and Leah Nicole. Oh yeah, it's Shelly Live and Leah Nicole. Shelly Live and Leah Nicole, oh yeah. Grown talk vibes, the moment is here.
Thank you for tuning in.